Okay, it looks like we've kind of slowed down on the number of people logging on, so we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you guys for jumping on. We had a really great 10 a.m. session today, and so excited to do another round of training for our new showcase program in partnership with Howard Hanna, which has been expanding the showcase program out to all of their partners. So today we do have coach agents as well as Rand Realty agents joining the call together. So again, just excited to run through the program and really get into how to actually get logged in today, start placing your showcase orders for your listings, talk through the different media options that you have, and how to really make sure that the showcase listing looks its best on the site. So we'll run through all of those details. We do also have Daniela on the call. She is your dedicated agent success manager. A lot of you were able to actually meet her in person in Long Island yesterday, and then at our RAND event on November 20th. So if you did not get the pleasure of meeting her, make sure that you do schedule some time with her. She's going to be sharing her Calendly link in the chat so that you guys can book a 30-minute call with her. And you can do that as many times as you need to until you feel comfortable. She's really here to provide that white glove service to you guys to make sure that your listings do successfully showcase, and she can really help coach you all along the way. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started here. You guys can hopefully see my screen. You can throw questions into the Q&A box as we go along. Don't feel like you have to wait until the end to ask questions. This is very interactive. And so Danielle is going to be manning that Q&A box as well as the chat box with any questions that you guys have. So don't be shy there. All right. I want to provide a quick recap of what Showcase is all about as far as kind of value, what the benefits of Showcase are. You got a fantastic presentation from your CMO, Leah Gibbons. So I don't want to try and repeat what she did, but I just want to remind you, especially for RAND agents who maybe you haven't gone back and looked at a Showcase listing since the event. We have a quick comparison here of a standard listing versus a showcase listing. So this is something that as you start pitching showcase in your listing appointments, you can actually do this yourself. Bring up a regular listing and flip over to one of your showcase listings to really have an impact on kind of the value that you provide by being able to showcase that potential seller's home. So you'll see in front here, we obviously have a more enhanced listing. It's got that carousel of images, has the listing agent's headshot, bio, a way to contact that listing agent directly versus a standard listing, which is still very nice, but you're not able to actually choose the images that are shown on that listing. And there's really very minimal information on the listing agent on a standard listing. So quite huge differences there between the two, and you're going to see that when I show an example of one of our Rand Realty listings in a moment here. I talked about the listing agent's information that's displayed on the showcase listing. So just a reminder that we do really heavily promote you as the agent, and that's really because Showcase is primarily meant to be a marketing tool for you. If the agent branding is a huge benefit of Showcase. So I would highly recommend that today you actually try and get logged into your portal if you haven't already, and upload your headshot, get the bio added in. If you have top agent badging or star reviews, we can connect your Zillow account so all of that does show on your showcase listing. And just make sure your contact information is correct. So you can put in the email address of your choice to receive messages, as well as put in your phone number. So someone could click and call you directly from the listing. All right, so in addition to that enhanced display that we talked about, the agent branding that you get, I just want to remind you that you are also going to get special tagging on the live site. So you'll get that sparkle icon attached to your listing on the map. So when you are among those other listings around you, big blob of green listings, you're going to see, or red listings, you're going to see your sparkle icon attached to yours so that you do stand out. You're also going to see the showcase tag attached to your home tile on the right-hand side of the page within those search results. So a couple different ways that we are trying to highlight the property amongst the other listings around. We are also going to prioritize the listing's placement in the results, and you're especially going to see an impact in where you're placed within that first week of activating Showcase. So you may not necessarily be at the very top of that search results page because it does really depend on the customer and what their preferences are in their search results. But you should certainly see an impact in where you're placed pretty high up on that first page for at least the first 7 days. All right, we also talked about, or Leah talked about, what she likes to call push marketing. This is our dedicated email alert that goes out to potential buyers who do activate that showcase listing. You can expect that this email is going to go out as soon as it is flipped on, essentially. And so that email highlights just your showcase listing alone. It's not grouped in with 10 other listings that we would recommend for the buyer. So we really are heavily highlighting that listing as well as your information on that email. So they will have a way to contact you. And again, just a really great way to send it out to like our Zillow customer database. So when you're pitching this in your listing appointments, you can certainly share that this is one value that you bring, to that seller is that you're able to really tap into that Zillow customer database because you are a showcase agent. All right. Leah went over some of these stats that you'll definitely want to refer to when you're in those listing appointments because they are just so powerful. When you are looking for kind of different taglines that you can include in your elevator pitch or in your when you're sitting down with those potential sellers at the kitchen table, you're going to be able to mention the amount of visibility that you can provide to that seller versus your competitors. So when you are really working to get after one of those sought after listings and beat out the competition, you're going to be able to share that you have the capability to bring more eyes to that listing than other agents around. So we see on average 81% more page views on a showcase listing, 80% more saves, and 90% more shares. So it's definitely some good tidbits that you can include, especially if you are someone who likes to record social media videos. These are some I've seen quite a few agents use these stats here in their like little 30-second elevator pitch on the value that they bring as a showcase agent. All right. Last stat here, these are going to be included in your listing presentation booklet, which we do have a digital version available in your resource center that I'll show in a couple moments here. So you don't have to necessarily memorize these, but as I mentioned before, having those quick little taglines are going to be helpful in your listing appointments. So this one here, sell faster, sell for more, those are things that you can say in your appointments or any marketing that you're doing. We do see on average that showcase agents are winning 20% more listings than non-showcase agents, and that's because really it is a no-brainer. When you're interviewing different agents and an agent can show the seller on their phone what their home could potentially look like, most of the time they're going to go with that agent. You can also tell them that showcase listings are 10% more likely to go pending in the first 14 days, so they are selling faster. They are selling for 2% more on average. So that's about $9,000. That could mean quite a bit to your seller. So all great stats that, again, you're going to see in your marketing material. And remember, if you do have questions as I'm going through, please throw those in the Q&A box, and Daniela is there to answer. You may have a question on if this product is going to remain exclusive? Like, are we going to oversaturate the market and allow everybody to have that showcase ability? And the answer is no. We are going to cap the amount of listings in the market to 10%. This is something that Leah shared. So you can certainly, use that when you are in those listing appointments, that you do have an exclusive product. It is not going to be available to all agents in the market, and it is something special and unique that you have as added value for the seller. Ways to leverage Showcase. So I mentioned the resource center that's going to have those marketing materials. There's all kinds of ways that we can really use Showcase to win. It can be when you're in those competitions against other agents, just really helping yourself to stand out. In your kind of marketing efforts that you're currently doing with your own branding, great way to just help elevate yourself as an agent. I'm going to jump over to our dedicated resource centers. We have one for each of you. So one for coach agents and one for Rand Realty. And Daniela can throw the direct links in the chat box so that you guys can open those and bookmark them. These resource centers were really made to be a one-stop shop for you guys. So you should be able to also access them within your intranets if you do ever lose the link. Once you're here, you'll see that we have a direct link to schedule a 30-minute call with Daniela. So make sure that you go and do that as homework from today. You can demo a showcase listing. There is direct links to our support team. The listing presentation that I mentioned has all of those stats that we just went through. We created a digital listing presentation. It's just about 5 or 6 pages long. And you can print these out and just have them available in your brochures or in your folders that you bring along with you to your listing appointments. We gave away quite a few physical brochures at the events. But I'm sure we will be sending out more of those actual physical brochures so you guys can have that as kind of a guide as you start pitching it in your appointments. Scrolling down, you're going to see that we've got additional training articles and videos for you. Our support team, as I mentioned, is listed here. These guys are going to be your lifeline as you get started. Daniela is going to be a fantastic resource for training, getting you up and running with your first listing, helping you to navigate media, coaching you with the showcase tool. But for anything on the technical side or photography issues, anything like that, you'll want to make sure that you do contact our support team. And they are 7 days a week. They're in the Eastern time zone. So you'll have plenty of availability from them. And I do recommend that you save their information into your phone. So that way on a Saturday, if you're having an issue, you know exactly who to call. You're not scrambling to figure out how to reach support. So that's that 888 number. And Daniela, maybe you can post that into the chat too, so people can add that as a contact in their phone. At the end here, you're going to see our co-branded marketing material. These are the postcards, social post templates that we've already put together for you. We've also put together flyers. So take a look at those when you get a moment. And I encourage you to start using those, even if you've never used really social media before too much for real estate. Take this as an opportunity to dip your toe into that because we've already made the post for you. So I recommend that you download one of these and give it a shot. Daniela actually can help you through that too if you do need some help with learning how to add these onto social media, but it's a great way to share your new capability as a showcase agent. All right, that is our resource center. And as I mentioned, there's one for Coach, one for Rand. So you guys each have your own, and that will be available within your intranet as well. Okay, one other opportunity I want to share to you all, because I know a lot of you have reserved tokens through the end of 2025, and you might want to get started on using those on active listings that you already have, and maybe you're struggling to sell them, that you can absolutely do that. We do just need to make sure that you have the required media to make that a showcase listing. And so in order to activate a showcase listing, you'll see in just a moment here, we do need photos, of course, but we also need a Zillow 3D home tour with the interactive floor plan. And so if we don't have that 3D tour, that's no problem. Daniela can work with you on either having your own photographer get the equipment needed to go out and capture that, or we can, if you are in as a coverage zone for our team, Listing Media Services, we could potentially have them go out and capture that tour for you. But I do recommend scheduling a chat with Daniela, and that way you guys can kind of work through the process of activating Showcase for that already existing listing. Okay. Before I get to media options, I do want to run through very quickly one of our live listings here. And this is, which Donna, I could have sworn I saw Donna on the on this call. So I'm sharing, if you are on here, Donna, I am sharing your listing. I hope you don't mind. It looks great. We just activated this, I think, less than a day ago. So Donna kind of took the plunge in the beginning here and got her listing in quickly. And you can see so far we've got some really great photos that she did use our photography team to capture. The first section here at the top, that is our photo carousel. As I mentioned, you as the agent can select the pictures that are in that carousel, which is very nice. That's not something you can do on a standard listing. So if you do have a very picky seller, you can actually delight them and display the photo of their choice. So we'll show you how to do that in just a bit. Below that, you're going to see Donna's information, her logo, her brokerage name, her headshot. You'll also see that she's connected her Zillow account, so we can see her star reviews here. If you had a top agent badge, that would also display. And then I can click and call Donna right from this listing. We can link to her direct website. She just needs to put in her URL. And then if she does have any social media like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, she can add all of those links right below the website section here as well. And that's just in her profile, in her portal. The bio, she can just copy and paste from a website that she already has, very easy to do. And then contact Donna. You're going to see that's the message box available here where I can actually send Donna a message directly or call her without any interference from Zillow. So that does not get routed anywhere. It goes directly to her. You'll see as I scroll down that Donna stays right here on the right-hand side. I'm never scrolling past her, so we do try to really keep her front and center. As I get down a little bit further, you're going to see that we have our stats listed. I recommend you guys keep a very close eye on this and share your progress with your sellers just to show the true impact of what you've brought with the Showcase tool. We mentioned earlier that you do see on average 81% more page views on a showcase listing versus a standard listing. And that does certainly ring true here, where we've got close to 2,200 views on this listing with only one day on Zillow, 169 saves as well. So really strong performance there, and definitely something that you want to keep sharing with your sellers as those increase. If we continue down, we're going to see our highlighted rooms. So we mentioned at our event that you can feature spaces within the home to really just kind of highlight certain interior spaces that you feel like are going to help sell the property. We do use AI to automatically place featured rooms on the listing. So you are going to see 3 rooms by default. But you can also customize this section to include additional featured spaces, as well as 2 exterior spaces. So very, very nice additional feature for you. You're going to see 3 photos assigned as well as a 3D tour option. So if I click on the 3D tour tab, that's going to bring me to that panorama of that area, and I can just do a 360 view of that space. Continue down, we've got a couple more featured rooms here. Yeah, see, we've got an outdoor space. Awesome. So scrolling all the way back up, if I click into the photo carousel, that's going to bring me to our media center. And you're going to see here we've got our full gallery of photos. So this has 40 images, and this is what Donna has actually uploaded to the MLS listing. So that's what we're seeing here. So when you do get your photos back, you're going to do what you normally do. Pick your favorites, add them to MLS, and that's what we'll display here and will be overlaid on top of your floor plan. So this is the Zillow 3D tour with the interactive floor plan. So when you see the media that's being captured for your showcase listing, if you're using listing media services, this is kind of that elevated media package that you're getting. So as I click through the gallery images, you can see the red dots where we're located. And we're moving along the page as I click through the images. So that's really why we call it interactive, because we do try to make it very clear to a potential buyer what it would be like if they were there in person walking around. So it just gives them a very good idea of what the space is like. And you're going to see here, there's two little lines coming out of that red dot. That is actually the direction that the photographer was facing when they captured that photograph. So again, just really trying to make it clear for the buyer what it would be like to be there in person and have a good feel for the floor plan. The floor plan tab in the middle is your full interactive floor plan. So on this section here, you're going to see an overlay of gallery photos, which are the green dots, as well as an overlay of the virtual tour. Those are your blue dots. So I've already clicked on a gallery picture, and that has brought me right to that section of the space. But if I come back and click on a blue dot, that will bring me right to that panorama of that section of the virtual tour. And so at this point, I can just continue clicking the arrows and continue going through my virtual tour. And you'll see we do continue to move around that floor plan on the right-hand side as I click through. So you'll have a link for this, the media center, that includes all three of these tabs. So when the media is delivered to you, you can copy that link and share it on social media, add it to your websites, lots of opportunities there. That is our showcase listing run through. Let me head back to our presentation here. Earlier today, we did have one of our listing media services managers run through this portion, but so I won't do as great of a job as Kyle did, but I will do my very best to run through the options there. We do have quite a bit of coverage for most of the markets, but there are some areas where we will need to help find an alternative photographer that has already captured showcase before and has experience with it. In those cases, we can recommend someone to you, or we can help get your own photographer set up to capture showcase listings. So that's where Daniela is going to come in and really handhold you through that process to make sure that you have a successful experience with showcase. Listing media services. So that is that is Zillow's photography company, essentially. And we have negotiated, or Howard Hanna has actually negotiated some really great price to use listing media services. So we'll show that in just a bit here. I am going to skip through a couple of these slides just so we can get to the login section here. I want to show a couple of examples of listing media services and kind of the quality that they provide. They do HDR photos. They will automatically include blue sky for you guys. So you don't necessarily have to worry about a cloudy day. They will make sure that they automatically do edit those to include that blue sky so the photos still look great. You don't have to necessarily reschedule the photography appointments. Here's a couple of examples there. So really high quality. They're all heavily trained before they are let loose to capture showcase listings. So you can take comfort in that. They do have to certainly meet a certain standard before they can capture a showcase listing. And all of the photographers that are in your markets must meet those standards. So whomever you are assigned to capture your showcase listing should have the same type of ability as all of the others there. When we get to our booking order form, I will show you if you do over time gain a favorite photographer of that group, you can book with just them in the order form. So I'll show you how to do that down the road here. So this is actually in our New Jersey area. So you can see really high quality pictures there, and they will take a minimum of 30 pictures. They will take enough photos to capture the full home. So you don't have to worry about them stopping at a certain point or maxing it out at a certain number of photos. They will take enough photos that it's sufficient for the home. And any feedback you have or special requests, you can certainly add that into the notes for the photographer so that they are aware of that in advance. All right. I'm going to skip through some of these interactive floor plan stuff as we just went through that on the live listing. Aerial drone video and photos. Want to provide a couple of add-on options for you. So the package that Howard Hanna has negotiated is actually a $100 deal, and that includes all the photos plus the Zillow 3D tour with the interactive floor plan. That's an amazing deal. Leah likes to say we're actually losing money on that deal, which is true. They negotiated a quite the package there. So again, $100 for the photos and Zillow 3D tour. And these add-ons that I'm about to show you here, the drone photos, virtual staging, those are all available for you for an additional cost. And you will just pay those at checkout when you book that photography shoot. So you can certainly get some of these great add-ons for any special home. So you can see here we've got drone photos available. There's also a drone video. We have a social media highlight video, which some of you may have seen before. It's a 30-second social reel that you can download and add to your social media channels. That's a really popular one. We also have virtual twilight. Those are 2 pictures, front and back. Amenity images, interior videos, real twilight, virtual staging, and furniture removal. Those are just a few of the popular ones, but we do have some additional editing options like green grass replacement. The social media video, this one, the audio is not displaying, but typically we have a background music to it. And again, it's 30 seconds and does an interior walkthrough of the home. So those are very popular and definitely something you might want to try out for a property that is extra special. Here's some examples of our virtual twilights. You can see it is $20 for two pictures. These work very, very well in that carousel. So agents that do purchase these, they typically will put like that second image there on the right as the first picture in their photo carousel, just to help draw more eyes to learn a little bit more about the listing. So I recommend giving that a shot. Virtual staging, if you are someone who likes to use virtual staging, it does not have to be a vacant home. They can certainly remove furniture in a home and then virtually stage it. So that is going to be available for purchase. The $25 per image is for a vacant room and just adding virtual stages, but I believe it's $55 to remove furniture and then virtually stage. All right. I'm going to get right to the coverage section here. And again, I know you guys are throwing in your questions, but please keep doing so into the Q&A or chat box, and Daniela hopefully isn't overwhelmed and is able to answer those. If I need to pause and answer anything, Daniela, just let me know. All right, so here's our market coverage. So you'll notice that we do have most of the area covered, all of that Long Island area, and quite a bit of New York and New Jersey. There's an area in Connecticut. I know that has been a question, that Fairfield County. We do have next door photos that's going to capture that area. So Howard Hanna has also negotiated pricing with next door. That's going to be a $199 rate for photos and the 3D tour. And again, Daniela can help you get started with Nextdoor. It's also very seamless We'll just make sure to get you the right contact info and the link to order photos through that system. So if there's anybody in that area, that's going to be your option. And of course, you can always set up your own photographer to capture showcase listings. All right, so exclusive pricing, feel free to take a screenshot of this for those of you that have actually gone ahead and reserved your listings through the end of 2025. That's awesome. If you would like a copy of the reservation form, we're happy to send it to you. If you've not yet made your reservations for listings, you're going to see that the $299 rate here, that is the price that Leah shared at our events. Really amazing pricing that they negotiated. $299 is the price of Showcase plus the cost of LMS photography. So that breaks down to $199 for Showcase plus $100 for photos and the 3D tour. If you are using your own photographer or using Nextdoor Photography, you are going to see from your next transaction, you'll see a deduction of the showcase price, which is $199. And then if you're, again, using your own photographer, you're just going to negotiate pricing with them as you normally do and pay them separately. So that's how that will work in that scenario. If you're working with LMS, you're in a coverage zone, then on your next transaction, you're going to see that $199 showcase deduction plus a $100 deduction for photos. So this is all being billed through Howard Hanna billing. So it will not come from Zillow. You're going to see this coming internally. And if there's questions on that or I need to expand on it, please let me know. All right, here's some of the add-on prices. Again, feel free to screenshot this. This is going to be visible to you in your order form online. So you will see this when you go to book your first appointment with Listing Media Services. You'll see all the pricing available there. As I mentioned, the virtual staging is listed there, 25 per photo. Social reel is 150. Virtual staging and furniture removal, 55. So really great options there. And again, you can purchase those at checkout. Photographers, if you use your own photographer, as I mentioned, if you're in one of those non-coverage areas, or you just prefer to use your own because you already have a relationship with them and they're willing to get the equipment they need to capture a Zillow 3D home tour, then certainly do that. They do need to make sure that they have the right camera, which there's a couple of different cameras that they could own. There is a resource center that is available on your resource page that we showed that tells you the exact camera specifications, as well as the instructions on how to capture it. So we'll send that directly to your photographer so that they can have a look over and then complete the 4-question verification checklist at the bottom of the resource center. Once they complete that 4-question checklist, they will submit and they will be good to go to capture your showcase listing. So very simple as well. And again, Daniela is available to walk you through that. All right, getting started. So at this point, we do want to actually get you logged in, find your agent profile, start updating that. And if you have a listing that you are ready to showcase, you can actually start that process today as well. The QR code here will bring you right to the login page. The direct login page for Showcase Access is app, like app, showingtimeplus.com. So that's listed on the screen there. Daniela should be posting that in the chat box for you guys. That's going to be also linked in your intranet. So if you lose it, no worries, it is in your intranet. I recommend that you go ahead and bookmark that page once you get there. I'm just going to step over and go to the page myself so we can do a live walkthrough. Most of you have already been imported to the portal. So we did a roster import where we've got some basic information listed in the account already. And you should be using your brokerage real estate email address to get in for the first time. So the at Rand Realty or at Coach Realtor is the email address that you're going to want to put into this section here. Once you've inputted that email address, you'll click continue, and then you're going to see the forgot password option. Don't create a new account where it says sign up. We don't want to do that because you already have an account. So we're going to click that forgot password option, and that will send an email from ShowingTime to your inbox asking you to set up your password. So I recommend you give that a try. You can certainly do it now, or you can just do it right after the call. We want to make sure that you guys can get in successfully. If you are having trouble, let us know. Daniela is available to help you get logged in if you are getting stuck. It could certainly go to junk or spam. So make sure that you're checking that. I've also noticed that if you have email forwarding from your brokerage email address to like a Gmail account or something, the ShowingTime email for some reason does not forward correctly. So you will need to get into your brokerage email inbox and make sure that you can see the ShowingTime email in that inbox. That could be the reason why, if you're not receiving it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move forward, but let us know if you're having trouble and we can follow up with you after the call. So I recommend just throwing in your name in the chat box and we'll take it down, make sure to follow up with you afterwards. All right, so once we get in, we are going to see our home page. And for you guys, you will not see listings yet until you start placing your orders. The first thing that we're going to do is update that profile. So when you go to the little drop-down arrow, top right-hand side, you'll click on Settings. And then Settings will bring you to your profile as the first option. And so you'll see that you have an option to edit. So you'll click Edit. And that's going to display all the different boxes there available to customize. So we do, again, have some basic information from the import that we did. But if you want to change the email address that those potential messages are going to go to, then go ahead and make the change. The phone number listed there is what will be displayed on your showcase listing. The About Me section, you can just copy and paste something from your own website if you have something already put together. Social links you can add, the photos, if you've got a headshot, that's one of the most important parts. The listings just don't look nearly as nice when there's just a gray circle there. So make sure that you take the time to get your headshot uploaded. Your brokerage name and logo should already be there. And then the Connect Zillow account is at the very bottom. So like Donna's, we saw her star reviews as well as I don't think we had top agent badging, but if you had a top agent badge, as well as star reviews, the way that you display those on your showcase listing is by connecting the Zillow account. So you'll just click sign into Zillow, and that should pull those over. Once we've updated everything, we'll just click Save Updates, and we're ready to go. So I recommend you take 5 minutes and just get that out of the way. All right, now that we're on our home page, we're ready to place our first showcase order. And so we'll click that plus new listing button here. And this will open up our showcase order form. So at this point, we'll just put in our property that we would like to showcase. It should pull it up in our database. If it doesn't, that's okay. Just manually type it out. And then we're going to select our listing price range and then our square footage. Below that, it should automatically have you assigned to a team. So I recommend that you just keep that as is. You don't need to even touch that drop-down box. That's what allows you to book from Howard Hanna's account. From there, we can click Next. And now we're going to have to choose our payment method. As I mentioned before, you are going to be billed internally by Howard Hanna Corporate, and the billing will occur at your next transaction, not at this point. So they have kind of fronted the money for you guys to be able to showcase, and then they are have set it up so that the cost of showcase does not come out until your next closing. So at this point, we'll just click use an available showcase listing and click submit purchase. Once we click submit purchase, you have officially ordered the showcase treatment for that property. We're not quite done yet though, because we do need to handle media for that listing before it can actually activate. So you now have a listing details page for this property, and you're going to see there's two options of how you would like to handle the media. If you are in a coverage area and you would like to go ahead with listing media services as your option for the $100 package, then you're going to click that Let Us Handle Photography option. From here, that will open up your listing media services order form, and you will have one package to choose from. That is your essentials package. That's the photos and the Zillow 3D tour with the interactive floor plan. It should say $0 here. And again, that's because that's being taken out at your next closing. So you'll click add. After we click add, you're going to see we now have our add-ons available. So anything that extra that you would like to purchase for that photo shoot, you can absolutely do so for additional cost. So you'll just click on the one you like to add, click add, and then you'll just expect to pay for those extras at checkout. So those are not collected at closing. You are going to pay for the add-ons at the time of scheduling the shoot. Clicking next, we're now going to see our calendar of availability. And as I mentioned earlier in the call, you could certainly just choose the next available appointment, and it will pull from all the different photographers in the market. Or if you, over time, find that you have a favorite photographer of the ones available, you can just select that specific photographer and book with their availability. But if we just want to do the next available one, then we'll click on the date, and then it should display the times. Once you've selected the day and time, it'll give you an estimated duration. I recommend that you pass along that estimate to your seller so that they are fully informed about how long the appointment will take. Below that, you're going to enter in your access details, so how they would enter the property, who would be present during the shoot, any additional email recipients that would need to be notified when the media is ready. So if you have an admin or somebody who does assist you with getting your listings ready, you could add their email address in there. And then any special notes for the photographer. Fairly simple. We'll click next step. That's going to bring us to our checkout page. And you'll see here it's $0 due. If I had add-ons, it would show me the amount of the add-ons, and I would be asked to put in a credit card on the right-hand side of the page. But if we have no add-ons, we'll just click agree to terms of service and click submit. So easy order form to use. Once we have actually submitted the order, you're going to see that your listing details page changes now to where it will say photo shoot confirmed. It will tell you the name of the photographer here. And just confirm your upcoming appointment. If you needed to reschedule the appointment, you could click that reschedule button there. Anything outside of 24 hours, no problem to reschedule or cancel. If it's within 24 hours, there would be a fee to make changes. Below that, you've got a recap of the media that you ordered. And then once that media is delivered, you're going to see all of it displayed on the right-hand side of the page. So just like Donna's listing here, she should have received the media back the next day. And once that happens, she gets an email notification that lets her know that media has been uploaded. Once you receive that email notification, that's your clue to come back in and check out the media. So we now see on the right-hand side, we've got our download center. If I clicked into that download center, that's going to bring us to our full media center where you can find all of the images available to download and then add to your MLS listing. So just like you guys normally do, where you get your media back, you download it, and then you pick and choose your favorites and add it to MLS. Same process here. So you're going to do the same exact thing. And then you'll also see that we have a 3D content tab. That's going to be your interactive floor plan and virtual tour. If I click that tab, that brings me right to my available links. So I mentioned that you can, all of that media that we went through on that live listing, the photos, the 3D tour, the interactive floor plan, that is all available in a shareable link. So that branded link here, that's what you could share on social media, your website. The unbranded link, that's what you're going to add to your MLS listing. So in MLS, there should be a virtual tour field where you add in your unbranded link. That link is found right here. It's also on your main listing details page, right at the front, right below the images there. So a couple different places you can find it, but do make sure that you take that step. And that is really the download center there. Very easy to use. You are going to get the media back by 5 p.m. Central the following business day. The only day that they don't deliver media is on Sundays or holidays. So just make sure that you're planning for that. But it is a pretty quick turnaround. If you do like virtual staging or an interior video, that does take one extra business day, but it will be noted on the order form whenever you do place that order. The last thing I want to share on this page is how to actually customize the listing. So on the live listing, we saw that photo carousel, the group of 5 images that does that scrolling through. You can edit that. So if you click on this little showcase tab here, that's going to bring you to the section where you can update that carousel. We do use artificial intelligence to automatically place images in that carousel, so you don't have to come in and do this, but it is an option for you. If you click Edit Listing, that allows you to pick additional photos as well as rearrange the pictures. So if I click on Add a 4th photo, that's going to allow me to select a new photo for that area. And I can just drag and rearrange. Very easy to use. And then for my featured rooms, you're also going to see that we have by default 3 rooms added, and that is added by AI. But again, you can add additional rooms to those sections, as well as couple of outdoor spaces if you prefer. So very easy to customize. And again, you could have an admin do this as part of their new listing checklist, just to make sure that the listing does look perfect. All right, and then you will see a View on Zillow button. You are going to get an email notification once the listing actually activates as Showcase. So we do not provide a button for you guys to just turn Showcase on and off in here. And that's because when you place the order for Showcase, we link to your MLS listing. So we know when the statuses change, and when you've uploaded media and you've turned it active, then we are good to go to turn Showcase on. So we see that on the back end. So there's no button for you guys to push in here to turn it on. So just know that we're looking at the MLS status as far as turning Showcase on and off. The Showcase will apply through the life of the listing. So it's going to, if your MLS allows it, you could see Showcase apply during coming soon, all the way through to under contract status. So when that listing goes pending, the request a tour option actually does go away, and you are the only featured contact option on the listing during that entire pending state. So that's a lot of agents like that because they can receive backup offers, through that, 30, 60 days of time when they are under contract. So just know that we are going to keep Showcase applied until it's fully taken off of market. Okay, I think we have pretty much covered the portal there. And I do want to share one more time our contact information so that if you did not get a chance, you can capture this now. Daniela, again, she had posted her link on the chat. Maybe do that one more time. There's a QR code listed here if you want to scan with your phone. But I recommend that you schedule 30 minutes with her just to do this kind of one-on-one and make sure that you are comfortable with the program and she can answer any questions you have. She is local to Long Island, so she's very familiar with your areas. You guys got lucky and actually got a success manager that is a local. So definitely take advantage of that. We also have the support contact information on the left-hand side of the page. This, again, I recommend that you take that 888 phone number right there and put that in your phone as showcase support. So that way, if it's a Saturday or a Sunday and you need assistance, you know who to call. They're a fabulous support team, and we get lots of great feedback on just how helpful they are. So please don't hesitate to reach out to them for any kind of technical issues, even login issues, photography rescheduling, or photography issues. I mean, they can handle 99% of most issues, so please use them. They are fantastic in addition to Daniela. All right, I'm going to take a that we need to answer live. I think we've got quite a few answered here. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I've got to notice that my internet is unstable, so hopefully you can still see me. Oh, let's see. Does the seller get an activity report? The sellers don't get an activity report, but what you can do on your live Zillow listing is go to your owner dashboard. So if you're on the live listing here and you want to share those performance stats, you can click on this 3 little dots here and click View Owner Dashboard. And that will bring you to the stats in graph form, which is always good for always good for screenshotting and putting in an email. For some reason this one just logged me out. See if I can get in real quick. That's where you're going to go though, those 3 little dots, and click View Owner Dashboard. And then if you click Claim Home, below that, you're going to see your latest activity. So this is what you could actually share with that seller in an email as progress. So you'll see when the listing actually, where we applied showcase, you can go back to that exact date and just show the boost in page views. So you'll see 2,200 almost views and 170 saves. You can look at the week or the last 30 days. Hopefully that helps. How can we get the Howard Hanna Coach logo for our profile? Okay, Nancy, if it's blank, we can actually just upload it for you. It should be in there. But if we want to take Nancy's name down, we can just add it for her. Do we always go through Showing Time to book, or can we directly from Zillow? For now, you are going to use the app.showingtimeplus.com website to access Showcase. It's not yet connected to Zillow, so it is a separate website right now. Let's see if we have any Q&A. Again, any other questions? I know we've got 2 minutes left. Please throw them in there. We don't have specifics on like how many agencies participate with Showcase, but we can share that it's pretty small number. We can't share specifics again on like details of who has access to Showcase, but it's certainly minimal. Again, we have that 10% cap where you cannot have more than 10% of Showcase listings within a specific market. So it is always going to have that exclusivity factor. You guys, because you do have a special enterprise contract with us, actually are not held to that 10%. So by having access to the Howard Hanna Rand Realty contract, even if we did go over that 10%, you would still have access to Showcase because you do have that special agreement with us. But it is still certainly an exclusive product. Okay, we're right at 3 o'clock. Again, as I'm going to stay on here just a couple more minutes in case there are additional questions. So please don't be shy, throw them in there. And hopefully you guys did book your meeting with Daniela. If not, I'll put it up on the screen one more time. I recommend getting started with her. She is really going to help you get logged in, fill that profile out, walk you through actually ordering your first listing, handling your media. So please do that as kind of homework from today's call. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining today. We're really excited to start seeing your showcase listings on Zillow. And if you guys have additional questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are available. We want to make sure you guys are successful with this. So again, don't be shy. We did record this. If you need a copy of it, we're happy to share. All right. Thanks all. Have a great rest of your week. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes just in case there's any more questions.
Hey, Lauren, do you mind showing Angela how to update her profile? Oh no, Angela, it's gonna be on that website, app.showingtimeplus.com.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're going to be on this page. Yeah, so that's not the resource page, but the resource page does have a link to this login page. So if you're on the coach page, you should see right here below the support, there's a button that says Showcase Login. And then once you're there, if you never logged in before, that's when you would need to do the forgot password option and get logged in for the first time. Okay, my photographer shot Zillow floor plans last week and my listing went live today. How do I now get this to become a Zillow showcase listing? Yeah, so that's great. So you have the 3D tour and the photos. What I would do is number one, I would schedule time with Daniela to see if she can just make sure that the process is smooth for you. But if you want to do that a little bit quicker, I would get logged into your account and you would do what we did today, where it says that plus new listing, put in the address. I'm curious if it's already in here. We might have to, Danielle, we might have to like actually work on this one to make it smooth. So if you have the address, maybe you can send that to us and we can just do some quick checking. I don't want to make you do a process that's longer than what it should be if I already have it in my system and I can just add showcase to it super quick. So if you want to send the address to it, we can do some quick checking or reach out to Daniela and she can assist. Does the payment come out for all tokens you reserve at once from next closing or just one at a time? Yeah, so that's at that is our actually at your next closing. So let's say you reserve 10 listings, you're going to see a transaction come out at each of your next 10 closings. So it's not all at once, it's going to be one at a time, but at your consecutive closings. And it's not really connected to that specific property. So you will just see that deduction for each of the next 10. 16 Copper Rock Road.
I do see an interactive floor plan as well as the 3D tour. So, correct me if I'm wrong, Lauren, but I mean on the regular Zillow, it's not on Showcase, but I think that this she has everything needed in order to flip it to Showcase.
Okay. Hmm. Let me just check you really quick. Laurel. I was just trying to make sure it wasn't already in here and it would be an easy push of a button. Because you might, did you use the randrealty.com email address or was it a different email address? Okay. Um, so in that case, yep. Oh, that's what you used for the address. Okay. Yep. So in that case, I think we can still have you place the order on the website, just like we did today, where you went to plus new listing and place the order there for 16 Copper Rock Road. And then once you do that, we're going to actually ask our support team to link your media to the listing. So go ahead and place that order, and then we'll have our support team link that media to the showcase listing. And as soon as they do that, it should showcase. So Danielle, I'm sure we can follow up on that if you don't mind jotting that one down. All right. Are you meaning showing time? If it's not showing here, I think it's probably because it was booked on the regular like public website, it sounds like. Normally though, you won't have that issue because moving forward, you can book everything through this app.showingtimeplus.com. So you shouldn't have that issue if you're going to showcase all of your listings. If you do need to, if you are looking to do list just the listing media services for a listing and not necessarily showcase the listing, let us know and we can show you how to actually do that, because you will still get like special pricing for just LMS orders. Because it sounds like you're already a fan of LMS, so you might use them for even non-showcase listings. Okay. All right. Last call for questions. Hey, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar, but we will send out this information after the call just so that you guys have Daniela's contact information and the recording if you need it. But thanks, everybody, for joining today. Yeah, Laura, we will get that showcase. We just need to get a support ticket in to connect it. So just make sure that you go in and place the showcase order for that address, and then we'll have them connect the media to it. All right, thanks, guys.